So with the launch of a new Story of Seasons game, I figured what better time than the present to check out the best the Switch has to offer when it comes to farming and life sim games, from hardcore farming simulators and casual town builders to the more action oriented offerings. The Switch has a ton of titles to offer from these genres, but today on the channel, as always, I'm going to be highlighting 10 of the lesser talked about ones, followed by a quick fire showcase of over 40 more. So without further ado, join me in getting your fingers green and knees dirty as we check out 50 plus of the best farming and life sim games on the Nintendo Switch. So kicking things off then with a game called Farm Together, a game which I've heard a lot of good things about, but this one is a cooperative farming experience which allows for you and up to 3 other players to work together, growing your farm from a small plot of land to a sprawling metropolis of crops, plants and animals, unlocking new items as you go and investing cash in new buildings and facilities. There are plenty of customization options on offer here though, from your avatar's clothing and appearance to a pet which follows you around and your very own house whose interior you can decorate to your liking, and unlike others in the genre, time in this one also advances whilst you're not playing it. It also supports up to 8 players online, with you able to invite friends or open it up to the general public, and it's one of the best co-op farming games out there from what I've heard, and well worth checking out. Now our next entry is one that I played in a recent live stream and have had a lot of fun doing so, but Everdream Valley is a new farming adventure game which kind of plays like a mixture between my time at PORTIA and a classic Harvest Moon game. This one though sees you spending time at your grandparents' old farm, which is a little worse for wear, but through hard work and dedication you'll be able to restore it to its former glory, building compounds to house cattle, chickens, sheep and llamas, cultivating crops and repairing its facilities to open up new crafting options. There's also plenty of adventuring to be had in this one, with a huge open world environment to explore, but its most unique feature has to be the dreams which occur when you rest, which have you taking control of various animals and completing minigames to unlock unique rewards or impact your farm upon waking. A great little game though, and well worth a play. Staxel is up next, and one for all you Minecraft fans out there looking for a more farming oriented approach to your voxel adventures with a bit of a Stardew Valley twist to them. Like Minecraft though, this one has both a creative mode in which money and resources are unlimited, allowing you to build, destroy and expand without worry, or an adventure mode which sees you starting from scratch, farming and foraging to earn cash and expand your homestead. But the game features a day-night cycle, seasons which bring with them different weather conditions and seasonal events in the local town, and handcrafted quests allowing you to advance your friendship with the villagers to unlock new items, crafting options and town amenities. But you can also venture out to other islands and enter into special seasonal portals where you'll find the more exotic and rare crops and items in the game. This one can be played with up to 1 to 4 players, either locally or online, and is a decent option if you're looking for a co-op farming experience. Our next game is Ooblets, an unusual one which blends elements of farming sims with deck building and the battling mechanics of Pokemon, as you grow otherworldly crops on your farm, some of which produce Ooblets, cute little crop creatures which can then be used to perform tasks or compete in dance battles with other Ooblets. The farming system in this one is relatively straightforward, with you harvesting crops which you're then able to craft into treats to sell or give to townsfolk, and there are plenty of quests on offer to keep you busy. But the dance battles are the real standout feature in this one, having you form teams of Ooblets before drawing and playing cards by spending beats, as you face off against wild Ooblets or NPCs to earn yourself new seeds to plant, tournament prizes and to progress the game's story. A uniquely different spin on the genre though, and well worth a look here. Up next then we have Lemon Cake, a game which sees you restoring and running an abandoned bakery haunted by a rather friendly ghost. But this one has a kind of overcooked air about it, as you mix together ingredients to prepare all kinds of recipes and try and keep your customers happy by serving up their order in a timely manner. As you progress through the game though, you'll unlock new upgrades and features to make your door punching livelihood a little less strenuous, alongside new furnishing options to allow you to customise your bakery's appearance, and you'll also gain experience unlocking new room types, allowing you to grow new plants, raise new animals, and gather new ingredients to expand your recipe book and prepare new desserts. A fun little tile with a nice dose of chaos to keep things interesting. So a bit of a cheat entry in our list today, but if you're looking for a game which forgoes the planting and cultivating aspects of farming sims and skips straight to the gathering and crafting side of things, then Wytchwood is an exploration and crafting game in which you play the part of a witch, completing quests and solving problems by brewing spells and potions using a wide variety of ingredients. Set within an expressive land of gothic fables and fairy tales, the game's storyline has you attempting to save a sleeping maiden by gathering 12 wicked souls, and gameplay involves some minor puzzle solving aspects as you learn about each of these and attempt to trick and outwit them and identify the right ingredients to acquire their souls. Like I said though, this one is more about finding and harvesting the ingredients from your environments rather than planting them yourself and having to wait for them to flourish, and it can become a little bit repetitive, but it's a pretty chill gameplay experience with some wonderful visuals to boot. Now our next tile, Littlewood, sits somewhere between Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, though unlike Stardew's farm-centric focus, it's the city building and social aspects which take centre stage in this one, as you construct your town, attract new settlers, and complete quests for them to learn about the backstories and build your relationships with them. Resource gathering and crafting of course still play a big role in the game and include things like mining, woodcutting, fishing and farming, each of which has their own experience level, with workstations used to craft new materials and items, and when upgraded these unlock new skills, features and locations for you to visit. But the big one setting Littlewood apart is its stamina meter, which essentially acts as your time limit for the day, but is much less restrictive thanks to it only reducing when you perform certain actions, so you're not punished for exploring, talking to people or terraforming your town and placing decorations or furniture. Aside from this, there's no combat in the game, but it does include a card battler with you able to find new cards hidden throughout the world, and each season brings new events for you to partake in. But all round, a relaxing little life sim with plenty to see and do. Now, for something that does put more of an emphasis on the combat and action, look no further than Sakuna of Rice and Rain, a game which has you battling demonic beasts with a variety of farming tools in side-scrolling platforming action before returning to your relaxing homestead with your spoils to plant and harvest rice crops, cook meals and craft new items and equipments. It really is a game of two halves though, and one which can really take a little getting used to. On the one hand you have the combat, which aside from learning its combos is pretty straightforward, while on the other you have the rice farming, an intricate and complex process involving not only sowing the seed, fertilising and growing it, but also harvesting, drying, hulling and processing it to get the end result, some rice. As a harvest god though, Sakuna's strength will grow with each meal she consumes, with different visual aesthetics and flavours influencing how her combat abilities are improved. But there's also a heavy emphasis on lore in this one, not only of the game itself, but also Japanese culture and history. A very interesting spin on the classic farming sim formula though, that certainly won't be for everyone, but a rewarding one providing you have the patience. So for those looking for something requiring a little more from the old grey matter then, Lonesome Village is a life sim cum puzzle game in which you're tasked with uncovering the mysterious past of Lonesome Village and saving the town from the hands of evil. is a game which at first puts the puzzle solving at the forefront, as you enter into an impossibly tall tower and ascend its floors, solving puzzles as you go, and these are all relatively logical but have some really nice variety to them, with everything from tile matching and lever pulling to mazes, hidden objects and platforming, but each plays a little like a minigame, so they're not overly long or repetitive. Solving these puzzles though will free villagers to repopulate Lonesome Village with and unlock new equipment, which in turn opens up the life sim elements, including fishing, farming and a ton of different quests, but the world itself also has a lot to discover, with hidden secrets and puzzles dotted about the place just waiting to be found and solved. A great little title though, and if you want to know more about it, be sure to check out my full review of the game down in the pinned comment below. So our final game today then is Farmers Dynasty, and this is probably going to be the best alternative for those looking for a realistic farming simulator, but with some additional life sim elements thrown into the mix to spice things up a bit. The game keeps things a little less complicated when it comes to the farming elements, giving you a dozen or so farming machines with which to cultivate your fields, a bunch of different crop types to grow and harvest, and plenty of options to invest your money in, with expansions to your farm and a dynamic economy driven by your sales and purchases. The game's life sim elements play kind of similar to those classic fixer-upper games, with you taking run-down buildings, patching them up and giving them a lick of paint so that they can then be used on the farm to add additional functionality. And there are also opportunities to find a wife in this one and settle down if that's your bag. It may not be the best realistic farming sim on the Switch, with some very questionable voice acting and the usual performance issues to deal with, but it's a decent alternative for fans of the genre. That though, my friends, is it for my recommendations of some of the lesser known farming and life sims on the Switch, but which if any of them have you played, have I missed any notable ones worth mentioning, and which can you recommend to others? Let me know down in the comments section below. Stay tuned though for a roundup of another 50 or so titles from the genre, and if you like this one, be sure to check out some of my other top lists, including the best family friendly co-op games, best beat 'em ups and best kart races on the platform. But for now, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Switch content, including top lists, deals and reviews, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.